In the spirit of Loperfido, please come back to the Astros. Man, we could have used Joey today. Framber Valdez, I'll talk about his pitches, and Eric and I will talk about what went wrong. This road trip was not as successful as they wanted. Well, let's talk about it and head back so we can win 6 in a row. See what I did there? Let's go, Yiner.
Yainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talkstros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, go ahead and make us your first listen and become an everydayer. Somebody listens to our podcast every day. Today's episode of the Locked On Astros podcast is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from a team of licensed professionals today. Call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon today. And Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Facebook and on X. They can also find me at Back to the Bullpen on X and on Instagram. Look, I'm always positive, always Stros. I went to the gym today, and I figured I'd get a little workout in before the game started. And right as I was getting done with my workout, I was like, all right, man, get some Astros baseball. Framber versus Logan Webb. Logan Webb, I don't know if you know this. He was the first Cy Young. He was the first person to be voted either first or second place in a Cy Young vote this last year with a losing record. He was 12-13 last year. Blake Snell won it. Blake Snell is now a Giant. Blake Snell's on the IL. Logan Webb deals. You knew this was going to be a pitcher's duel. And so Framber had to outshine Logan Webb, and I'll tell you here in a second why Framber didn't get the job done today. And we got to talk about that Yordan Alvarez hit in the second segment for sure.
Well, I definitely previewed this in yesterday's show. I said Framber Valdez, he's either going to go out there and pitch 9 innings, or he's going to go out there 3 innings or something, give up 4 or 5 runs. And that's exactly what happened in this game. And apparently there's nothing wrong with Framber Valdez. Joe Espada after the game said that he's physically fine. Both he and Joe Espada said, Espada said that he pulled him after 59 pitches was mostly due to San Francisco Giants making great contact against him and wanting to keep the game within striking distance. I think that Brian McTaggart before the game put out a tweet. He said that Framber Valdez had a 63.8% ground ball percentage. Logan Webb had a 60.2 ground ball percentage. And these are the 1 and 2 best ground ball percentage in baseball. And what happens in this game? Framber Valdez gives up a whole bunch of fly balls in this game, and that's when you know that his stuff is not fooling anybody. It's there's a lot of fly balls, a lot of not. I think he got a double play and got some ground balls, but for the most part, there's a lot of fly balls, a lot of stuff that was just kind of beyond the control. And sometimes pitchers, somebody said, I'm gonna say he's an ace. He's not an ace. I've never said he's an ace. He's been an ace. Then the Astros went out and traded back for Justin Verlander. But in his head, he thinks he is still an ace. And so an ace is going to be the one that goes out there consistently performs well. So the Astros truly don't have an ace right now. Justin Verlander is not that guy. What? Verlander, he's not consistent.
Hold on. Whoa.
I'm kidding.
He's not an ace. Just perennial first ballot Hall of Famer who just went to the top 10 for strikeouts is not an ace. Eric, I don't know your middle name, Huysman. Okay.
Starts with K.
Okay.
Just like Verlander does.
Correct. Kurlander. Anyway, so here's the deal. Let me tell you what happened to Framber today. Okay. Yeah, he has ace stuff. He doesn't have ace mentality. Between the ears, he's not an ace. Between the ears, he's a 4 or 5. With the talent, he's a 1. every day. Any team, put him on there. Maybe outside of Garrett Cole and a few pitchers, he's not your number one guy. But I'm looking at his pitches, okay? A changeup is supposed to what? Change up. A changeup is supposed to do what a fastball doesn't do. And his average speed on his changeup was 90.3 miles per hour, okay? And it's up almost a full mile per hour what his yearly average is right now. His lowest speed for a changeup is 84.7. Here's the problem when your changeup looks a lot like your fastball. It's a hittable pitch. The fastball is your fastball. You've got to be between 94 and 96. He was there. He wasn't. When he throws too hard, what does it do? It flattens his pitch out. So at a changeup, when you throw it, when it's equal to a fastball, and the more velocity, the more, miles per hour you give that changeup, the easier it is to hit. And that's why they were getting hits. That's why he wasn't getting the ground ball outs. And had his changeup, had he been able to keep that under control, I would like to see him go from an 89 or from a 90 down to like an 88 mile an hour. I mean, if he could keep it between 85 and 87, that is huge, because even 85, that's not even 10 miles. Well, yes, that's almost 10 miles an hour under his fastball. His four seam is 94.7 minimum. His average was 94.7. He threw one four seam fastball. So when he throws 19 changeups, Eric, and those changeups look like fastballs, he's basically throwing 20 fastballs, and those are hittable balls because the movement's not there. That was Framber's mistake. This is a Giants lineup that has the ability to hit, but they didn't have to go out and be world beaters. It was good, though, so here's the thing. Joe Espada does a great job selecting who to go in the game. The bullpen did their job. The offense, I guess Yordan Alvarez, the offense did their job. But when you got Caratini getting a hit and you've got Jose Abreu grounding out, that's why I'm wearing this faux back teal hat with the teal lights, because I need Joey Loperfido up here as soon as his 10 days are up, because this kid needs to be playing first base. I've got the evidence to back it up. This kid needs to be on this freaking team. I'm sorry, Trey Cabbage, you've had your day in the sun. I need some Loperfido action, okay? And I'm not saying if Joey Loperfido's here, we win the game, but there are certain spots where Joey Loperfido could have gone in and played and made a difference, but he's not being given the opportunities. So that's frustrating.
Yeah. So Justin Verlander is now 41 years old. He is not quite having the season that he's had in the past. He is trying to reinvent himself. And so if you're going to look at me based on his career, yes, he is the Astros ace. If you're going to go into, I don't think the Astros are going to make the playoffs unless they figure out a way to win. But if you're going to go in playoffs, who you're going to put game one? It's going to be Justin Verlander, because his pedigree says ace. But who's pitched like ace this year? Ronel Blanco. He's been the most consistent
100%.
player out there. So I think that game two at this point would have to be. This is a hypothetical playoff series that you have to. I have it right here. The Astros, in order to reach 90 wins, where is it? The Astros would have to go 59 and 34 the rest of the way just to reach 90 wins. So they could barely win series. So that's a big if. But at this point, if you're going to go to a playoff series, Ronel Blanco would be your number two guy. Then I would say Framber Valdez, because he has had some good efforts this year. And then you just kind of fill in the rotation from there. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen to Lance McCullers when he comes back. Luis Garcia. They're the unknown quantities. We don't really know what's going to happen there. We do know the pitchers that are out for the rest of the year. We do know that Hunter Brown is developing into this pitcher that the Astros want. So I just don't think that the Astros, the more I think about it, are going to make any trades at the trade deadline to upgrade. If anything, they're going to go ahead and do the opposite way. And I didn't read the entire Best Only article, but he said that if the Astros were to sell, the most popular targets would be, of course, Kyle Tucker, Ryan Presley, and Alex Bregman.
You are not trading Kyle Tucker. If you trade Kyle Tucker, you are going full rebuild 100%. Right. There's no way
you lose a lot of Astros fans.
Well, you're not going to do that. You still got 2 years of control, right? Don't you?
I think 1 year.
1 year. Okay, you got 1 year. You technically don't have to pay him in this offseason. You've got one of the best hitters, one of the best fielders. And hey, I'm listening to this. I was listening to the game, and they were talking about the injury that he had, and he has a lump under his knee, and they said his foot was still swollen. So I don't know if we're going to see him at all in the Detroit series. We might see him Sunday.
Right.
This thing is lingering. He's very fortunate because it hit below the knee. He's very fortunate that it didn't break his leg, but he is, man, let me tell you, Yordan Alvarez goes down and gets that ball. Let's talk about that second segment because that was a great hit.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll go and talk about more. And I'm not the one suggesting this. This is other people outside or the Locked On Astros podcast that are suggesting the Astros should trade Kyle Tucker.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It's the most fun, exciting way to get in the action while you watch your favorite sports teams and players. Right now, pick more or less on 2 or more player stats to win up to 100 times your money. Download the app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match of $100. You can turn $10 into $1,000. You can make a Prize Picks lineup in 60 seconds, and all you need to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 players' stat projections, and you're locked in. The finals mean more on Prize Picks, so do the star players, get boosted payouts on select baseball stars, and you won't find this anywhere else. You can also make the lineup that you want, your dream lineup, and go with strikeouts, RBIs, first inning runs, and so much more. 100 times your money, you can cash in big. So make sure that you make Prize Picks the place you go for fantasy sports. Again, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB for your first deposit match of up to $100. Using the code LOCKEDONMLB, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Life insurance, a lot of times, doesn't bring peace of mind when you're selecting the right policy. Well, I've got the answers for you. Head to PolicyGenius.com. Get the peace of mind you've been looking for, because not all insurance policies, life insurance policies from your companies, cover everything, and there are a lot of things in life that are unpredictable. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius helps you easily compare your options from America's top insurers in just a few clicks. Their award-winning agents can even walk you through the process step by step. Your work life insurance, again, may not cover everything. Policy Genius is there to help you with thousands of customer service members, 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. People find what they need. So go to PolicyGenius.com, click on the link in the description for your free life insurance quotes and see how much you can save. That's PolicyGenius.com.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen. Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts, go ahead and check us out. And you can go ahead and even watch us on your Amazon Fire TV stick. Just go ahead and search the free channels app, and you can go and search baseball, find Astros, and you can go and see Brett and I on your big screen TV. So this is an awesome name. Apparently, Blaze Alexander will be the starting third baseman for the Diamondbacks. That's a awesome name.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, he was just called up. But Eric, I want to say this before we get to the before we get to the Yordan Alvarez, is that this team, okay? This team has a guy named Alex Bregman that you talked about last show, how you said, people had canceled him out, and someone said, Bregman, we should name him Mr. Pop-Up. Well, in June, he's hitting 343. He has an OPS of 996. He has an on-base percentage of 425, and he has a slugging percentage of 571. And he has upped his OPS to 701. It's taken him a long time to get here because he started in such a slump. He's getting going. Yordan's still hitting. Caratini is showing up. Yainer Diaz was heating up until he got injured. You've got some bright spots on this team. The problem is they just can't put all these things together in a game. And like I said, maybe this is this team. I'm still not selling this team, Eric, not being in the playoffs. But as long as Yordan Alvarez is going down, getting changeups out of the zone and hitting home runs to dead center field, I still think there's a chance. And the only reason why I say that, Eric, is because we are in the AL West.
I'm really surprised that as good as Alex Bregman has been in his career, that this is the first time. I mean, he's had a 14-game hitting streak only once before, and he hasn't had like extended hitting streak. So what he's been doing recently is something that he has not been doing. Yes, he hasn't had the power. Yes, he hasn't had the big numbers that we're used to seeing from Alex Bregman. He's had some down years, but it's good to see him try to carry some of the production with Kyle Tucker down. And I was going to bring up Kyle Tucker in a second. Joe Espada and the Astros have announced that there's some hope that he would come back on Friday, but he has not resumed any baseball activities. So he's not coming back on Friday. So yeah, you have to be able to run to be able to play outfield. I don't know if you
you have to be able to walk. Yeah, no, you have to be able to. Did you see him limp out to the handshake line last night? I was like, that dude. I mean, yeah, that's just terrible because today it would have been so cool to have him in the lineup. But man, it sure would have been cool to have Joey Loperfido in there. You could have had three.
All right.
You could have had three lefties. Well, I'm sorry.
We know it's not Joe Espada making these moves, right? He does not make the decisions to who goes up and goes down.
Okay. Okay. Here's my question. And respectfully, Mr. Crane, if you're listening to this, I'm pretty sure you watch our show every day. And I've been very respectful. I typically don't disrespect owners. I don't bite the hand that feeds you. Technically, that's, he put this team together. People make a living off this team. Okay. What are we doing with Jose Abreu on this team? How can you not see that your ROI, your return on investment, is dog water? It sucks. Jose Abreu does not belong on this team. I'm sorry. You saw what we did to Yuli? We freaking treated him like crap. Jose Abreu doesn't have enough change in his pocket to go, oh, you know what? Let's make it. I want to see his tribute video. What is it? Errors and strikeouts with guys on base? That's going to be his tribute video, or my picture with him at Buc-ee's. I mean, that's probably the greatest thing he's done. It's so asinine, dude. I'm so tired of him being on this ball club. I really am. I've tried to be positive. And look, if we've got Singy on there, we got Singleton, I can deal with that because the cost isn't there. The dude's got a great story. But I want Singy and I want Loperfido. I'm done. I'm done with Abreu. I'm just done with them. Respectfully, Crane, you're screwing yourself with your return on investment, and you may be hampering your playoff chances even more because Jose Abreu is on this team.
Yes. So I saw this. I think it was Brian Lima that just put this tweet out. He said that since his return from West Palm Beach, Jose Abreu's hitting 167. For the season, he's hitting 124. So I love that somebody put a all-star graphic out there.
I think it's Space City Sports. That guy does some phenomenal stuff. And yeah, I love that, man. Oh, and hey, I love this. Bring up Bryce Matthews. Oh, Friday, I've got an episode, Eric, that I did with Kenny the Man, Kenny the Vandalorian. I brought him up from Astros Future. We're going to be releasing some clips Friday. You got to check out our episode. We talk about all the guys, and trust me, there is hope in the future for the Astros. It's not all bad.
The way you said it, it's like you called him up from AAA to come up to the Astros Locked On Astros podcast. So congratulations, Kenny, for getting the call up.
See that?
Yeah, it's okay.
The Texas Guru says, Brett, that job the Astros had that was waiting for you just evaporated. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, though? I think Crane would appreciate my sheer just honesty because I'm trying to help him out. I use the term ROI. Who does that, right? I mean, come on.
Yes. So I think that we need to talk about what Mr. Yordan Alvarez has been doing in June. I'd said it even about a week ago or so, or even before. I think I was on a cruise when I said it, but Alvarez has been historically great in June. And he's continued that so far. I believe he has 5 home runs in June, but he hit a 414 foot double that would have been a home run in almost every other ballpark but this one.
He crushed that ball.
And then he hit a home run off a changeup that was like at his ankles almost. And he hit it 404 feet to, or 405 feet to like the little nook of the little triangle part of the ballpark. And it was like, it's just, he's amazing that he can hit the ball exactly where even Logan Webb was just like, how the heck did he hit that far? So Alvarez, his bat has awoken, and I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, because in April he had 7 home runs with 18 RBI. Now he's got 5 home runs, like you mentioned, with 13 RBI. His average is 395 this month. His slugging percentage is 907. I mean, that's like 400 points higher than it was in the previous 2 months. In April, he was hot. He had 7 home runs, 18 RBI. He had 17 strikeouts. Right now, he only has 2 strikeouts, Eric. A 1376 OPS. 1376. That is otherworldly. I absolutely love that. And this is why it's so important to have, and so unfortunate for Tucker being out right now, because Tucker, Tucker was hitting well. And when these 2 guys are in the lineup, when this team's healthy, it just may not be our year. This may be the year that everybody gets their druthers. All the other fan bases go, oh, the Astros have finally been defeated, wave the white flag, surrender. But I'm not giving up on this team just yet.
Yes. After the break, we're going to go and talk about the bullpen. The bullpen's did something today that they have, that big 3 or big 4 in the Astros bullpen haven't been able to do recently. We'll talk about that in a second.
Here on Locked On Astros, we pride ourselves in getting you the latest news on your team year-round, whether it's off-season, draft, or in the playoffs. You know what else is year-round? That's right, collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming after you for unfiled taxes. The IRS can garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, and seize property. So don't let the IRS target you. Let licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. For myself, I've got my self-employment status, I've got my freelance work, and I've got my regular job. So that's kind of a whole complicated thing, and I've got different things I have to file. So why not go with someone like I have that has over 14 years experience, an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau? Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters like myself that require tax planning, or finally hit that parlay this season and you need help correctly filing, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. See the link in the episode description below.
Guys, thank you for making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify. Go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Go and check out Michael Connor on the Locked On Astros postcast as well. He does a great job after every Astros game as well. And you can go and find everything on your Amazon Fire TV stick. So go ahead and make us both your first listen, and I will help you get through this season. I know it hasn't been a season that we've been used to. The Astros have had 7 straight ALCS appearances, and this is not we're not used to these losing ways, but I think that the Astros have a good nucleus, but for some reason just all the parts are not adding up to the whole this year, and they're not getting to where they need to be, whether it's injuries, whether it's the manager, whether it's the bullpen. But the bullpen, they let's not talk about Josh Hader. Let's not talk about Ryan Presley.
No. The guys
Rafael Montero.
I want to talk about the guys that pitched today.
These guys, these unsung heroes. I'm talking about the Taylor Scotts. You're talking about the Seth Martinez and the Sean Dubins. These guys have been outperforming some of the big name guys.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, Sean Dubin today, 2 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. Unbelievable. 1 walk, 1 hit. I mean, this Dubin, when we went into the game yesterday, there were 2 pitchers that hadn't pitched in the last 3 days. It was Nick Hernandez and Sean Dubin. Did they play yesterday? Did they pitch? Absolutely not. But when Sean Dubin got the call, old bird nest, as they call him, he's got that beard. I think he's got the beard power back because he had shaved the beard for a while. Now it's not only back, but he's got it like it's all chiseled, kind of like the Keuchel beard thing. Remember how the Keuchel beard was that was kind of like that was his mantra, So Doobie looks great, man. And I really think, and this is my thought on Sean Dubin, my friend Corbin and I were talking about this earlier. Dubin is a starter by nature. He's been moved into the relief pitching role. Let's say that we get back Garcia and McCullers, and they decide ultimately that they're going to be in the bullpen. Right. If you need a sixth starter and you're not going to bring up someone to do that, if it's not going to be Blue Ball or if it's not going to be Bloss, which I doubt they're going to jump. I mean, Bloss could skip AAA. He's hitting that well. That's a name you have to listen for Friday. But you could stretch out Dubin and you can make him a starter. Remember, he started last year in Arlington and did a great job. So if Dubin could become your sixth starter and extend some of the life of your pitchers on the mound because you're running the heck out of all these other guys. So I'm talking whenever Garcia get back and McCullers gets back, that might work.
Well, this is a family-oriented show, but when Blue Ball comes up, when he has the bases loaded and strikes out 3 in a row.
Okay, why did you? If it's a family show, why would you make an object about his? Oh, come on, dude.
No, it has nothing about that. It's just giving the other team. So anyway, but let's go ahead and focus a little bit about the almost winning road trip. The Astros had a chance of winning this road trip, but instead they're at 500 on this road trip. And they had a chance actually at multiple games during this road trip to possibly win it. 5-1. And instead they 3-3, and they had a chance to make up some ground. Instead, it just seems like there's, like I said, all the parts to their Astros vehicle are not moving in sync together. And
are you trying to turn this into another ad read? Come on, Eric. Quit with your Eric. Eric has this subliminal desire to make everything into an eBay or what was that? There was like another parts one we did forever. What was that?
I don't know.
You remember the name, you just don't want to say it. It's not necessarily a free endorsement, but look, we are talking trades here. Someone said, what is the trade deadline look for the Astros? Well, according to Dana, now here's the thing. I'm starting to not believe anything they say. Like literally they say something like they could say that, you know, a player can't make it because he's on paternity leave. I wouldn't believe it. I'd be like, well, maybe he's in Cancun. You know what I'm saying? Like they say this stuff. Oh, Lopefito's going to play. Yeah, I'm going back to this. Oh no, you know what? We got a guy that we're spending $19 million on to look like crap in the field and at the plate. Jose Abreu. Oh, but have you seen the back of his baseball card? Or, you know, look at the guy's name on the back of the jersey that was the main guy that signed him. Mr. Bagwell, your favorite player. Just what a whenever front office guy that guy is. I don't understand what we're doing here. Like, are we trying to win a championship, or are we trying to millie like just freaking just milk toast our way through this season? And that's really what it looks like. You got the Tigers coming to town. You know who's pitching for the Tigers on Friday night? Tarek Skubal. Yeah. Skubal is up for the Cy Young. Skubal is pitching out of his mind. He's 6-1. And Hunter Brown, he's been on this stuff lately. So I'm not necessarily concerned about Hunter Brown, but I'm concerned that if Hunter Brown gives up 2 runs, that the Astros will lose 2-1. You know what I'm saying? If Hunter Brown gives up 3 runs, we'll lose 3-2. And so at the end of the day, they've all got to show up and do what they're supposed to do. Or I don't know, maybe some people don't need to be playing. Maybe you should cut Cabbage and let Joey Loperfido play. Because is Cabbage really a part of your future? Is Cabbage really a part of your future? You realize how much time Loperfido could have in right field if Cabbage wasn't on this freaking team? I'm sorry. I'm so ticked that Loperfido is not getting the playing time. And Cabbage, like Corbin said, cut the Cabbage. The Cabbage is spoiled. Look, he's a good, decent guy, right? I've met him, good guy. But no, not at the expense of Loperfido, not at the expense of winning. And that's what's happening. Thank you. President. Yes, I am president of the Joey Loperfido fan club. I will sign me up for that. I'm creating a shirt on Etsy.
New drinking game. Take a shot every time Brett says, why didn't
that? Because I am not. I am not going to find you a sponsor for your AA meetings. But anyways, but seriously, yeah, always positive. Of course, Uncle. I'm positive that I hate the fact that that Jose Abreu's on this team. I'm positive that Joey Loperfido would be a better option. I'm positive that the Astros act like they don't know what they're doing. And I'll say this, my last thing, I'm positive that they have ostrich syndrome. They're sticking their head in the sand, acting like, oh, it's all going to be great. No, we're not going to do anything at the trade deadline. Oh, no, we're going to stand pat. This lineup will get us to the World Series. Have you seen them play?
Right. The Astros are now 31-38. They are 7 games below 500. They have 6 games against below 500 teams. The Tigers have a better team than their record probably shows. The White Sox are a terrible team. This is a chance to make up some ground. The Rangers there's some blood in the water there. The Mariners are a pretty good team. So it's going to take a little bit of time to catch up to the Mariners. So I know that the Rangers are trying to make a trade at the trade deadline, but we still have about a month and 2 weeks or so for a trade deadline. I still think that the Astros, unless they want to shed some salary before the trade deadline, they're probably going to stand pat. And they honestly, unless you want to trade somebody like Bryce Matthews or somebody to maybe acquire somebody, you're not going to be able to do that.
No. Hey, let me tell you, after you watch Friday's episode, you're going to never say, get rid of Bryce Matthews.
I didn't say I did.
No, I'm just saying, like, and that's the thing. If we do trade, it's going to have to be something that's not going to cost us a whole lot, Eric.
All right, guys, that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. We'll look deeper into the Tiger series tomorrow. And my name's Eric Huysman. He's Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast.
Go Astros. Sorry, Loperfido.